call this the head camera.
Okay.
That you see, and that allows you to see everything. It allows you to see people, and it's a 100-degree field of view. It's supposed to sort of, mimic you being here.
Yes.
And your field of view that you have.
Right, right.
Down here, we call this the nav camera. You can see people's feet, so you don't run over. And so just hit the up arrow key, and you hold it down, and it'll drive forward off the dock.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
Now you can use the, let's say, the right arrow key and spin around.
I'm spinning.
And
Hi.
And here's some more beams over
Yep.
here.
Fellow beams, hello.
If you use the mouse and you move it up to this window up here, and then you can double click on something, and then it will zoom in on that thing.
So tell me how much one of these things costs.
The remote presence device, or beam, costs $16,000. The charging station is well, we bundled it all together, and it's $16,950. And then on top of that, there's service and support, which is another $3,200 a year.
You started shipping these already in November last year, correct? What have people been using these for?
Most big Fortune 500 companies, they've been mostly using it for testing. They're testing to see what they're good for, what they can use them for. We're working on them being able to put these into clean rooms.
For assembling electronics, right? Or
yeah, so going in and out of a clean room is kind of, it's a very laborious process.
Yeah.
Whereas with Beam, you can just be there instantly. Which we think is actually works really well for, is for
remote workers.
Remote knowledge workers.
Right.
People are able to decide where they want to live and where they want to work is independent. I see that in the future. And I know that this is a way of making that happen.
From what we understand, there's at least half a dozen other startups or companies doing similar things to this. There's one that essentially just puts an iPad on top of a set of wheels, which is much cheaper, something like $2,000, I think, for that unit. What makes Beam different, better?
Well, so our system is designed for the enterprise. And in the enterprise, downtime or the thing not working is not an option. The first time it doesn't work for you, you're going to chuck the product. You're going to say, I can't use this thing because it's not reliable. We designed our product to be super reliable. Our system has 2 radios inside of it, and that's necessary for enterprise use.
So how many of these things have you got going around your office? I understand you do have remote workers using them.
I've sat in meetings where I was the only meet person there.
Okay.
And there are 10 people remote. So this is our assembly area.
Okay, I'm going to just go through.
We're hand building them right now.
You're hand building.
These are our motors that we use. You can sort of see down below, you can sort of see the wheel.
Yeah, oh yes.
And this is just that. Right
okay.
there.
And it's all assembled here in Palo Alto?
Yep, all assembled in Palo Alto. Here's an example of the chassis.
Okay.
Or the base. The battery sits right in there.
Yep.
And the battery is a large battery, so you can get 8 hours of talk time.
You know what's kind of odd is going into a room and losing that sense that there is someone else in the room. So you go in and you kind of think, is there someone else here? You have to look. Whereas if you were there in real life, you would pretty much know right away.
I think you get better at it. I've used this to attend a bunch of different events and that I've never actually been to.
Yeah.
And I've caught myself weeks afterwards telling someone else, like, oh yeah, I just went down to LA for that trip. And then I caught myself, no, actually I didn't go down there. I just beamed down there. And it's really funny, if you use this and you get really good at it, you fool your brain into thinking you actually were somewhere else.
Wow.